Man, there you go. I knew somewhere in there had to be a medium-sized sandy. This is probably about 9 inches long. It's a good eating fish, good size for eating. We let him go though. Caught some stripers today. Hey guys, what's up? This is Konerri from Out of Work Outdoors and 24/7 Outdoor Addiction. And today I'm going to just slightly go over what this setup is and why it's been so popular. In the videos, you've probably heard us refer to the setup as the OKR rig, or just simply the killer rig. One of our team members, Veman, actually came up with this idea a while back. This is about maybe 10 years back of how to just, rig this up. And what it is a topwater lure trailing with a jig, crappie jig. And these are by far the two most popular colors. Something that's shiny and white, and preferably in a 1/8 ounce head. I know once in a while you get a 1/4 ounce on there, but it swims a lot better with an 1/8 ounce head. And there's a little bit of a playing around you have to do before you get the whole system work right. But what it is you have a topwater lure, and on the back hook you extend a line to the crappie jig. Sounds pretty simple, right? But there is a little bit of a theory behind it, and a lot of people don't understand why it works so well. So I'm gonna attempt to explain to you guys why it works so well. The reason why I think this works really well is this topwater makes a lot of noise, and it in a way kind of simulates other fish, like attacking shad and bait fish, things like that. So it catches the fish's attention. But maybe when the fish gets close to striking this, it doesn't like what it sees and it backs off. But then again, if you're pulling a crappie jig on there, it's not as menacing. Okay, so it's like a smaller prey, so to speak. So it can actually come and hit this. A lot of the times you're going to get a hit on this and never get a hit on this. There's been a lot of trips that we've been on where you throw this all day and you'll get about 10 hits, striper hits. Good eating size striper hits on the jig, but it never touches this. Okay, when the fish is not very aggressive, they will never touch a topwater lure. But when they really are aggressive, they'll hit this lure and they'll hit that lure. Same cast. So there's a good chance you're going to have two fish on there at the same time, especially during the spring runs where the sand bass, stripers, and hybrids are all navigating upstream. They're trying to breed and things like that. There's a good chance you're going to get two fish on the same cast, same time. So just some little tips and things for you guys from what we found during our last couple of years of fishing this rig is really anything you want, your favorite topwater lure. We just have the Reble T10 here because it's the cheapest one. It's about $2.50 to $3 each, versus some of your other favorite head and lures, topwater, and your crappie jig, preferably. The size ratio, just to give you guys a good idea, this is a 3.5 inch topwater walking lure, and you're gonna put about 2 foot, 2 to maybe 2.5 feet, sometimes even 36 inches or 3 feet. To your favorite crappie jig, and the crappie jig is going to be the 1/8 ounce jig head and dressed with whatever curly tail. This year we have the bucktail style setup, and it's really up to you. You have to play around with it a little bit. If it's deeper water, you might have to extend it a little bit longer. But keep in mind that when you throw this thing's gonna swirl. Okay, first time you go out with this, you're gonna see what I mean. You cast it, it's gonna swirl. So you have to get that line combination between your two weights just right. So when it swirls, it goes out. It doesn't catch up on itself. And we find this out a lot, that when you throw this out, this line tends to come back and hook up on that hook right there quite a bit. So some people have actually taken that hook off and just tied directly to that ring in the back. But I found out that a lot of your hits will, on this topwater, when it does hit topwater, you're going to miss because you don't have the extra hook there. but it does help remedy some of the headaches of things getting stuck. But play with the line, and once you get the line distance just right, you'll be very, very happy with the performance of it. And to throw this, it's a really light setup. You can use just about any line and tackle out there. And I'm just going to show you guys how to not really how to rig it, but just kind of demo it a little bit. I usually run about 10-pound Power Pro from my reel, and I attach it or what do you call it, splice it, and splice it over to mono, to a 10-pound mono, and it hits this on the top. And then from here on out, I usually go with at least a 12-pound or a 17-pound. Something's a little heavier, but not too heavy. The reason why you do that is you got to keep in mind that when you get a hit on this, and the fish is moving around aggressively, more than likely he's gonna have a buddy with him, and his buddy's gonna hit that. So now instead of one fish, you have two fish pulling on your main line, which your main line can handle it. But if they're fighting each other, this section right here needs to hold as well. And I've already lost a lot of fish that way. A lot of times you'll get, say, not even really big fish, just say stripers that are about 20 inches long. If you get two striper hits on this one's gone. Okay, this one's guaranteed to be gone. All right, so that's one of the reasons why we go with the bigger line here compared to your main line. Now, there's a little argument saying, well, if you want, to do that, why don't? Well, you might have a chance of losing this if you're fishing shallow water. So if you get snagged on this, you're gonna lose the entire thing. Well, that's true. So that you don't go that low. Okay. So my setup, it's 10-pound to the front, 12-pound right here, or 10 to 17. I have 17 here, and I'm gonna show you guys just how to rig this up. All right, let's tie this sucker up. Okay, so you can really go with any topwater lure you want, but I seem to just like this one just because it's more cost effective and it works as good or better. Check out the review on this if you haven't. But anyways, before we used to tie the line directly to this hook anchoring point right here, but after a while of I guess test and tuning, we found it more beneficial to tie it directly to the hook, the treble hook. But instead of tying it to just one treble hook, you want to loop around two. So take your loop that you've just tied, loop it around two, but the thing is, you want to hang it like that, and you want to tie to the trailing 2 points. So if it's the trailing 2 points, it's these two right here, okay? The trailing two, all right? You don't want to go to the left or the right. So just keep the hook natural, and then bam, right there. Pull it in, and that's how you tie it up like that. Okay, 2 feet out. 2 foot out. So here you go. Here's the end, and bam. Okay, 2 foot out. Crappie jig time. And like I said, this should be the 1/8 inch or 1/8 ounce. I actually have a quarter right here. Well, this is actually a quarter, but it should be a 1/16 for the best setup here. This is what I fish all year round. This is just like an example, like I said. So do that. Your favorite knot, polymer, uni, whatever. I tend to like the uni knot a little bit better in this case. And I'm not going to do the full thing, but tie it for y'alls. Bam. So there you go. There's your crappie jig. You need to clip that off. Cut it off with your teeth because you're a man. There you go. Bam. Right there. Okay. Crappie jig. And then Reble T10 right there. Just like that. And that, my friends, if you're fishing anywhere where they allow this setup is going to be the best setup you will ever fish. Now, it's not going to catch the biggest fish. No, because this rig is not designed to catch the monsters. Okay, this rig is designed to catch food for the table. Okay, anything that will eat anything is going to eat this. Okay, we've caught bass, walleye, anything, just about anything, and I kid you not. This is the best rig I've ever seen for freshwater river fishing or even lake fishing, especially if you're fishing these shallow areas. It's just a killer setup. That's why we've named it the Oklahoma Killer Rig. And it's not specific to a lure. It's just more of like a design or an idea of a top water to a trailing jig setup. And if you fish it right, and it doesn't take a The best part is it doesn't take the advanced angler to fish this. You basically throw it out and just keep on wiggling the tip of your rod as you're reeling it in. And sooner or later, you're going to get something on the end of the line. It doesn't, you don't have to. Because the other thing is, once you rig this like this is not going to walk like a dog, walk anymore. It's just going to wobble in the water, on top of the water, almost like a dying shad, or at its last breath, you know. So this is going to attract fish, and the fish will hit that. Sometimes fish will hit both. So it's a really, really deadly combination. We use it a lot at Keystone. We use it a lot at Fort Gibson when the water's off. We use it a lot at, man, just every single river we go to. We always tie this on. Especially when the fish is picky, or especially when there's a lot of fishermen around and the fish has already been spooked. This is also another thing you can throw that a lot of people don't do. So a lot of times when you go into an area where there's a lot of pressure on the fish, you need to throw something a little different. And this is a good, it's a good way to do it, because I pretty much can guarantee you a lot of fish have never seen this before. So when you do it, it's brand new to the fish, and they'll take a hit. So good luck to you guys, and like the video if you found this useful. If you like the idea, like the video, and also follow us on Facebook and Instagram, especially on Instagram. We do a lot of activity on Instagram. We post the pictures just about every other day, and our videos are very sporadic, so subscribe and check it out. Once again, this is Konerri from OOW Outdoors, and I'm also part of 24/7 Outdoor Addiction. Always got some cool boats. Oh, is my dream set up right here?